Mhm. As you hit
Doing
record.
it just as we were coming on.
Yes.
Casey's talking to her dogs, telling them to just settle. That's
Just
a nice
one.
way to
The
think of
other
it.
one's the
Yeah.
other one's settled. There's only one that's unsettled. And I told her she was a butthead because that's what she is.
It's true. It's true. I constantly tell JoJo that she's worse than my two actual human children because, she has no words. She has whimpers and whines and barks and as she just sits here
Yeah.
so
She
so
knows she's being
quietly calm.
spoken about at this moment.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
100%.
That's anyone who like says the whole fight between like people who think their dogs are children and which they are for us, but obviously human children slightly higher on the keep them alive list. Um, but the anytime they hear about our dogs, they're like, "Oh, our kids are easier." And I was like, "Yeah." And
Yeah,
at least your kids eventually get to an age where they will be able to vocalize for the most part
100%.
a thing that hurts
Yes.
or is wrong or is not feeling well.
Yep,
With animals, you have to play the game of what now? Why did you do this thing?
100%. Well, and I feel like they're almost like, I mean, they totally go through the like infant to like 5-year-old stage, and then they
Hmm.
forever stay a very responsible-ish 5-year-old
Yeah.
for the most part because they still can put themselves to bed and like do
Hmm.
the things,
Hmm.
but like they still are fully dependent. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, I know Chris and I joke about this all the time about JoJo. Like if she were to break out of our house and get loose, she would just die because she would have no idea how to capture an animal. She would have no idea what to do with it after, even if she did capture it, she would be like, what am I supposed to do with
I've made
this?
a new
Like
friend.
we have completely like what's they talk about how domestication, like
Yeah.
she is
Hmm.
100% domesticated,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
it's
I
very
mean,
sad.
dogs have hitched to our star pretty closely, so they don't seem to mind it. Uh,
No, no.
and they're very smart for it. I just read I think it just came out like a month or so ago, like a new research report about how dogs are even. I mean, we're pretty closely linked because of how long
Hmm.
we've sort of come up the ranks together. But even more so now, like how dogs are really starting to like mimic certain like newer
Yes.
emotions and feelings and understandings and just this world of like I will fight anyone who thinks it's just a dog or just an animal. Like
Yeah.
there's so much more going on there that we just do not understand.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
we live with them and we say, "Come up here on my bed."
Yes. Yes. Like animal that can literally chew my arm off.
Yeah,
Come snuggle with me. It's the same as like raccoons. They're saying
yeah.
raccoons are starting to
Oh yeah,
show
yeah.
signs of
Which is
domestication. They're
great
getting
news for
shorter
us.
snouts. I know. I'm so excited. But yeah, like shorter snouts, like
Hmm.
the way their profiles are
Yeah,
changing, and it's just, I mean,
it's
they're just
wild.
goofy.
Yeah.
They're like they really are like little trash
I
pandas.
think
But
I don't think I'm making this up. I think my mom had a raccoon when she was growing up. I'll have to ask her about that.
I mean,
I
it's
think
pretty common,
yeah.
like
I mean,
especially if people found a baby
yeah, and I think
raccoon.
that's what happened. Like I think if I remember the story correctly, my grandfather might have found it and I don't think it stayed with them very long. I think it went to another place,
Yeah.
another home, I should say, or wherever you put raccoons back then.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
but yeah, I think there was a moment where my mom had a baby raccoon, which just sounds amazing. But then also you do realize like they're feral creatures and they're actually
Yes.
mean. They're really mean.
They're really mean.
And
Yeah.
and yeah, most cute creatures are. So you have to like
Yes.
I
Same
do at
with
least have that part of
otters.
my brain. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
we've had the Wild West out down here in Florida. Um, we have a lake out back and I mean I've been here for decades and had never seen a wild otter. And then years ago, it was around December, so it was a little cooler out. I was standing, like, looking out the kitchen window, and I'm like, "What the heck is that?" Because the way they move is not a normal
Yeah.
thing you see, and I'm
Yeah.
staring at it. And I called Sean, who is much more animal familiar, who's worked with a lot of animals and
Right.
stuff. I'm like, what is this thing? And he's like, oh, that's an otter. But yeah, he's the one who told me how nasty they are.
Yeah,
They're
it's
mean,
amazing.
mean, mean
Like
creatures.
my brother-in-law has had a pet possum. Um, and for a while they had like raised it from a baby.
Mhm.
And I'm
Are
just
they
like,
mean?
I mean,
I feel like they get a rap for mean, but I
I
don't know
feel
if
like they get
they're,
a bad rap. Yeah,
yeah,
because I mean they
because
do
they
have those
hiss.
sharp teeth and they hiss. Yeah, and they look angry.
Yeah.
Like, but I it just was it you that
But
sent
like
me a video? Yeah.
raccoons will like drown things to
Oh,
like, yeah, like they'll take you out into the, not us, but
no.
like, they could
Thank
do it to a
God.
dog,
Yeah.
like drag you out
Yeah.
into the middle of the lake and drown you kind of thing. Or it might be able to do it for me. I don't know.
Right. Well, I feel like sometimes raccoons are like that road cross of what is it? They always say that my cat is trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of like a little bit of that behavior where
Hmm.
like they are family pack kind of
Yep.
oriented.
Hmm.
And we should probably like tell our listeners we are not specialists in
No,
raccoon
we're just
behavior.
two
We
white women who like animals, which is a really dangerous specialty in the world,
I
honestly.
know,
Which is why I
but
said it's good that I have the part of my brain that goes, no, that can be a mean creature. Don't go
yes.
hug the raccoon.
Yeah, because like but they are like they just have
Mhm.
this like weird evil twist to them. But I feel like
Yeah.
every animal could have that. Like
Yeah. I mean,
same with turkeys.
humans have it. I mean, we all snap. I mean, yeah. And especially
Exactly.
if children are involved. And so we have a raccoon family. If I slip, by the way, I call them the raccoon family. So I do know how to pronounce raccoon, but I
Raccoon.
think it's funny to call them raccoons. And so we have a family that lives somewhere in this area, and every year,
Hmm.
I think it's only once a year. It might be more. I don't know, but you'll see the mom, a
Yep.
bunch, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's like a ton of kids running around.
Yep.
There was, I think last spring, that little but I don't even know how many bundles of joy there were out there, but two of them were like fighting under my car. I'll have to put the video in the show notes because I set it to like Mortal Kombat
Oh my
themes
gosh.
because it was just so funny
Yes.
because they were, we checked the cameras in the morning for what creatures stirred in the middle of the night, and there was a little raccoon family just out there
Yep.
living their best life. And you could see
Yep.
the mom was just like, come
I
on.
know. Get over here.
We have to go through trash cans and get out here.
Yep. Yep. We have a raccoon family as well that like we have this we call it the nature trail
Hmm.
because it's right around our house. There's like a perfect like 2.5 foot walkway between the house and any plant.
Hmm.
So the cats walk that path, the raccoons, I mean
Yep.
the possum that we
Yep.
have, like all of them have walked this path. So every time our night vision camera will pick it up and you just see like these, little fat guys, little raccoons just checking away and just walking away. And it's just so funny to
Speaking
watch
of,
them
oh,
because, oh, there she, see, we were just waiting. We knew this was going to happen. We were 10 episodes in. This is our 11th, and she finally makes an
she hasn't
appearance.
done this yet. I wasn't sure if
No,
she has or not. I can never keep up
no,
with her.
no,
But,
this is like a moment. This
she
is a
did give
moment.
me a fake leaf,
Oh, that's, oh, what
which,
a gift.
yeah, it's so great that we found fake ones because the real ones we were running out of those. And
Oh,
so
man.
she's upset that I've taken it from her because that's not something I really want her to have.
Which, speaking of leaves, we should probably
Yeah,
tell
that's
our
a great
listeners
segue. I didn't even
that,
plan that. Thank you,
yeah,
Kenobi.
that Casey has
You're excited about that.
educated herself tremendously about the importance of
Yeah,
certain plants that
yeah.
are outside that can
Poisonous plant.
cause,
Yeah,
yes, poisonous plants, which if you might have noticed that when she lifted her arm up earlier,
yeah.
she
My,
had quite the
my,
markings.
yeah. And this is nothing compared to like where it was last
Yeah.
week. This was not, I think I sent you delightful
Yes.
video of it at its height. But
Yeah.
listen, don't go chasing waterfalls, and
Dun, dun.
don't play with plants that you don't know. I will say this was in a garden. We were not hiking.
Yep.
Which
Yep. This was
hiking would have
no.
been like, I feel like hiking is the tip off. When you say hiking and like I've got this skin thing going on, people go, ah, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, this is the
Darn those
poison
hiking
ivy. Yes.
nature trails.
And usually
Yes.
like your legs or something like that, right?
Right.
Um, and that was not the case for me. I did gardening because we had that big freeze here in Florida back in February, and so we've been slowly working our way around the yard, trying to get it all ready for summer again, and
Hmm.
clearing out things that usually do not die that took a really big hit this year. And so I was obviously elbows deep in dead plants and brush and things like that. Um, have gardened in this area a bunch. The irony that like today I had a memory photo pop up of like a few years ago from when this same bed was just fine. Uh all beautiful looking. And this time it got me. So we don't know like if, a bird brought something, because
Hmm.
there's a little bit of a wooded area back there, but it's not much. It's like a tiny little pocket of trees kind of
Right.
thing. And so this happened, I gardened on a Saturday. I thought I got bit by a bug on Sunday. We have these things called no-see-ums down here in Florida. I don't know if you're familiar with the joy of a no-see-um. You don't see them, and then they bite you, and you usually don't feel them bite you, and then a few days later you get like welts. And so that's what I
Hmm.
originally thought it was. And I called my doctor because I said, I think I'm allergic to whatever did get me. And so we should probably document that so that,
Yep.
you know, just so I'm aware if I need anything in the future. And I walked in and she took one look at it and she goes, that's not a bug bite. She said, we're going to call your dermatologist and ask them. So luckily they were able to, I had video. This is the pro of being a photographer. I'd been taking photos of it like every
Hmm.
day or so. And even when I went to send the dermatologist all the like footage that I had of it, I was like, oh my God, this thing went from like tiny little kind of semi-mosquito looking bite-ish type thing. Kenobi, chill out. Um, to she's very excited that she had the plant transition.
Yes.
Um, to like fully all over my arms and yeah, like blistering and all that kind of
So
fun.
crazy.
So
I mean, I've heard of people having like extreme reactions to
yeah,
like poison ivy, poison oak. Like
yeah.
my dad, he must have had it a ton as a kid and he just
Hmm.
doesn't get it anymore.
So yeah, that is something I've now educated myself a little bit more than I was 2 weeks ago about this. But like it's one of those things where the more you come in contact with it, the less like you might kind
Yeah.
of, I don't know if immunity is the right word there, but you'll sometimes develop like a tolerance to it.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if I've ever. I mean, we used to go camping as kids, so like we were aware that it existed, but I don't ever remember having
Yeah.
like this going on,
Right. Yeah.
so this might be my first. And then I'm just usually very generally very sensitive to things. So it's not
Hmm.
super, I don't know if you can hear her. I really
Nope.
don't. But you
Well,
know what?
noise suppression is doing its job.
Fantastic. I never
We
know
can't
which
hear
channels
anything.
have really great noise suppression and which ones don't. So thank you, Zoom.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for all
Uh
of that
yeah.
developer tech. Yes.
She's only
Well,
she's only harassing me, which is the good thing. But yeah, so I had to go learn how to identify poison ivy now,
yeah.
which I'm still not. I was just out there. My neighbors are had warned me about it like before my situation really took off. I ran into him and he's like, "Oh, be careful, there's poison ivy out there." And I
Hmm.
still didn't even think anything out of it because I was like, "Oh," and I always thought it was something that like you touch and
Right.
relatively soon would be itchy, not three, 4 days
No.
later. I for 2 weeks thought it was a bug bite. Like I felt dumb, but also was like, you
I
know,
mean, that stuff, like, it really varies. I mean, I remember even in high school, it was like I think it was my junior year of prom. I
hmm
think it was, or maybe no, it was my junior year of prom. Um, I ended up getting poison ivy and it
mm,
was all
yeah,
in the, like the
yep,
bend of your
yep,
arm.
Your
Oh,
joy.
it was so bad. Oh my gosh. I remember like we ended up having to like layer it
Hmm.
in like calamine lotion and
Yep.
like I was trying to get it as good as possible before and oh man, it was just brutal. And
Yeah.
it is, it's just it's painful. And my mom, she gets it awful. Like it
Hmm.
doesn't matter how many times she gets it. And
Hmm.
my dad, this has been years ago, he went back and he pulled a bunch of dirt from our woods that's behind our house and brought it up and put it in the garden bed because he was
Hmm.
trying to bring the garden bed
Hmm.
up with some, fresh soil. And it must have had a ton of poison ivy and poison oak. My mom, she was like, I'm not even getting in the like,
Yep.
you don't like do the holes. I'll just drop this stuff in. I'll sit in a seat. Like it
Hmm.
just because it was so bad for her. And I think some people are it's kind of like bee bites. I think people
Yeah.
are just
I'm gonna
either
say
prone
it
to
seems
it.
like there's different the layers of reaction
Exactly.
to it. I will
Yep.
say mine mine looked a lot worse. It still does. I mean, and this is again nothing compared to what it was a few days ago.
Hmm.
It looked a lot worse than I think. I did have it covered up. We went down and saw Bruce Springsteen last week, and I had it covered up then, mostly because I didn't want people to bump into me, because that was a little,
Yep.
But then also just I didn't want people to look at me like, ugh, what is going on
Right.
there?
Right.
Because it was a little, it looked a little scary,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so lots of steroids and steroid creams and the oatmeal baths and all that kind of stuff. And
Yep.
then I just filled a cart of like stuff so that we have it here. We got the calamine lotion and there's another, I had a friend who recommended a product that you can like put on the dogs, and it's like a bath body wash. You could put it in your laundry kind of thing to get, because all
Oh,
these oils
nice.
get like,
Yep.
it'll get on your clothes and then just kind of hang out there. Luckily, semi-luckily, I was in a tank top, so I'm not super concerned about.
Hmm.
I was sitting here the other day, like, what was I even wearing that day? I don't even, I don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
trying to look back on our security like camera stuff, like if I could find a video from that day, which I could not,
Oh
um,
man.
but yeah, even
Just
so,
so
like
brutal.
dogs apparently don't get the like the rash or the reaction, but they can carry it obviously into you
Oh
then.
yeah. Yeah.
So it's, which luckily our dogs are not in this area, but now that we just know it's there,
Yep.
it's like, forget it. We're just gonna have all this on hand. And
Yep.
I years ago when we first moved into this house, I mean, it's a Florida thing. We have six like venomous snakes here.
Hmm.
So they exist, they're out there, you see them occasionally kind of thing. But when we moved into this house and the lake is right there, we've got the dogs. I hyper focused into learning about snakes. And I can identify, especially the six venomous ones, with some really solid
Hmm.
accuracy. And then some of the non-venomous ones. The first goal was like identify the ones that are venomous, and
Yep.
then that way we know like how much I have to yell to get them away from
Exactly.
them. Um, and then if I see one, it's not like always a freak out. It's like, oh, that's a little corn snake. That's fine.
Hmm.
There are a couple tricky, kind of like poison ivy. There's things that look like things that aren't.
Yes. Yes.
But I was joking all weekend. I was like, I am so good at identifying snakes, and I don't know a darn thing about plants. Like, I just there's like leaves
Yeah.
of three, let it be. But then every time I look down, I'm like, there are three leaves here. I don't like. So is
You're
everything?
right.
Is it everything else? Like, don't
I
touch
have
anything.
I have insane respect for people who like spend time writing books about poisonous
Yeah.
versus not poisonous and edible versus non-edible
Hmm.
because it like that whole foraging like
Yeah.
concept. I know there's a whole movie. I think it's called Into the Wild,
Hmm.
where a gentleman like comes from money, like all these things, and just like decides to just give it all up and go live out in the middle of nowhere. And if you don't want to hear the ending of the movie, you should probably like turn
Yeah.
off the podcast right
Spoiler
now.
alert.
But spoiler alert.
Plug your
But what
ears.
ends up yeah, but what ends up happening is he has a book of poisonous, like what's edible, what's unedible,
Hmm.
and he was living in this like place very remote, and he accidentally um
Yeah.
mislabeled a berry and ended up
Hmm.
eating them, and it killed him slowly in the middle of nowhere, like, and he just died out there. And
Jeez.
he kept a journal and like all of these things because he wanted to document his whole life. And it was just horrible because you through this movie you get to like experience the
Yeah.
moment he found out that he had ingested the
Mm,
wrong berry and he knew what was coming. And
sure.
it was just awful to watch it. But such a good movie though.
I don't, that's something I could never wrap even, I just could not, I cannot wrap my head around it because even like as a kid, there were, I had a friend's dad who would, pick flowers off of a plant in their house, like around their house and just eat them. And I'm like,
Yep.
sir,
Yeah.
excuse me, what? Like,
Yep.
what are we
Yep.
doing? No.
Yep.
And listen, I like a good salad and all that stuff. I like knowing what I'm eating though. Like
Yep.
I want to know with that with uh almost 100% certainty that we're good, on
Yep.
this eating the thing. So like and obviously with kids and animals like you can they sometimes just eat things they're not supposed to and that's
Yep.
kind of a different scenario, but as a grown human adult being, um I do not wish to be in a situation where I'm guessing on it. That kind of
Right.
looks edible. That kind of looks like a
Yep.
berry I should eat.
Yep.
But that's I'm a part of like all these, Facebook group type pages. There's, snake one, mushroom one, plants now. I went out and found the plant
Mm-hmm.
people. And because so I basically took close-ups of all the plants in this particular area and I said, please, internet, help me. Which one is it? Which one was the
It's
mean one?
yeah.
And they were able because I was going through like trying to do it myself and I was like, I'm no, this is I'm
No.
gonna guess wrong and that's just not gonna be
Yeah.
good.
No.
So and luckily our neighbors have some familiarity with it. So when I was speaking with them this morning, they've had another house that had much more of it. So she's like, "Oh yeah, I got this." And I was like, "Oh, okay, good." Because I was also like trying to figure out how does one get rid of this? Like,
Yeah. Oh
because like
yeah.
weed whacking and burning and like that's you don't want to do those things with that. So,
No. No. And
so
the hard thing is, and that's why like poison ivy and poison oak are so bad, is
hmm
once it has the tiniest bit, is what I've heard,
yep,
is it'll grow back. It's
yep,
kind of like we have blackberry
hmm
briar bush or something out
yeah,
here. It doesn't matter if you thought you got all the root, if any of the root remains,
yep.
that thing's growing back.
We had
And
a
it
crepe myrtle
just,
that did that. And
man,
we had to have I don't know, a man with a big truck tool thing come
oh,
in and like it took us a while to because someone that lived here previously planted this tree that gets way big,
yep,
way too close to the house. And so it's like we love the tree, but it's like you have to go because
yep,
you're about to you're upper foundation stuff here,
mm-hmm.
and so but we had to have him like come and like I think like drill into it and it was like a
It's like a
whole
whole
thing. It would
thing.
just keep and like once you like all the seeds would just disperse and it was a
Yep,
lengthy process. So I know this is a little this I mean luckily it's not tree sized, but yeah, that I was reading. It's like it takes some time for it to kind of
yeah.
cave to your wants. So uh my goal for
Growing,
that area is basically just potted plants and not
yes,
be in the ground anymore. So
there is some things about growing in a pot and growing in the dirt. There are some
yep.
clear advantages of both. I always told myself that one day when I had a house, I was going to have a weeping willow tree.
Hmm.
And when I found out that the roots crawl for
Yeah.
water source and they have been known to rip up pipes and just all of that stuff. And I was like, okay, so what you're telling me is I need to be in the middle of nowhere with a giant pond and then have the
Hmm.
weeping willow at the other end so that that way I can look at it and it's beautiful, but it won't
Hmm.
be anywhere near the house. And
Yep.
so that's when I decided that I think pictures of weeping
I was gonna say,
willows.
so you have maybe art pieces of weeping.
Yes, yes. And also like I am starting to become a green thumb plant person.
Hmm.
I have a ton of pothos in my house and some other different tiny plants and things like that. I tried having a bird of paradise and it was
Oh,
doing phenomenal. The thing is I love a bird of paradise. However, I do not have the space for it. And
Yeah.
having kids,
Yeah.
I could not position things with a high
Hmm.
chair next to it. Like all these things. And I was so sad because I had to get rid of my bird of paradise, but it was doing really well.
We had one
Um,
in our screened pool area. Again, a plant that gets very big, and whoever
yes.
put it where it went and didn't trim it back and like keep it the
Yep.
right size kind of, and it that had to come out too, because it's like
Yep. They
you're
do.
messing with like foundational things here. Like,
Exactly. Well, and
and
that's why I kind
it
of
was
like,
huge. It was so big
oh
when we first
yeah.
moved in. It was
Oh, the bird
crazy.
of paradise, they do. They get
Yeah.
massive.
Hmm.
And that was one of the things I was like, if I ever have a bigger room or like
Hmm.
a nice sunroom, I will definitely have a bird of paradise in there
Yeah.
because I just love the look of it. But
Hmm.
my pothos have been doing really, really well, and I've gotten really good at propagating them and
Hmm.
creating more plants and things
Yeah.
like that. And now it's funny, I'll have to show you a picture of my kitchen at this point because there is my one pothos is getting so long, like it's vines, that I'm
Hmm.
starting to like loop them around the
Oh,
in the
nice.
kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my sister goes, "Oh God, it looks like a jungle." Like, and it's totally not her style. So like she's
Uh-huh.
looking at it just horrified at the fact that I would do this. Meanwhile, I'm like, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
Like it's because that's me. But yeah, I'll share a picture of it because I think it's beautiful,
Yeah.
but
And that's
it's
all that
taken a long
matters.
time.
But
Yeah.
it's also, I mean, I could think back, I mean, this has to be maybe going on a decade ago where we couldn't even keep little
Yes.
succulents. So everyone tells you how easy succulents are, and no, they're not. No, they are not.
They're very fickle little creatures
Yeah.
because I tend to overlove my plants and I overwater them.
Yeah.
So what I found out was if I start buying pots that actually have clear bottoms so I can see how much
Oh
water
yeah.
remains. Now that has been the saver for me is
Hmm.
if I can have a pot that tells me when my water is gone and when I
Yeah.
need to put more water
Yep.
in,
Yep. Hmm.
then I can keep things alive. Now I do have a couple of pots that like there's this you can't see it, but it's right above me. It's called a corn plant. It
Hmm.
literally looks like a corn stalk. And it's so funny because I moved it from in here in the office out to the kitchen. It hated it out there so much. It was like on the verge of death. And I
Yeah.
was like, why is this plant dying? And I said, you know what? I'm just going to put it back where it was, leave it
Hmm.
alone, and just see what happens. If it
Yep.
dies, it dies. And I put it back where it went, and it is now flourishing once again with
Yep.
new leaves. And I'm like, what
They
is
have areas that
yes?
they're
And I'm
so
like, this
finicky.
is yeah, and I'm like, this is its place. Like this
Yeah.
is where it needs to live. So that is where it will remain, even though it's getting to a point where eventually it's going to be too tall to be on the shelf because it grows up and out. So it's
Hmm.
like, but eventually we'll have to get to that point.
Yep.
But yeah,
We don't have a
that
lot of
corn plant.
plants inside because of allergies. My parents did get me for Christmas a hydroponic. I can do anything in it. Right now, I have a little bit of
Ooh,
everything. So I'm trying to grow them to get them big enough to then take them outside.
yeah.
Because like right now, it's just like little tomato. The cucumber doing really well, which I do. I have terrible luck with cucumber here in Florida.
Yeah.
And coming from New Jersey, where like you could basically grow anything,
Yeah.
you just look at the ground and it starts growing. It's frustrating.
I
Last
was
year I
gonna
had
say,
no,
is it too much sun? Is it
it's
just the
so
too
it's a,
much direct
it's
sun?
too much heat, it's too much
Oh,
the soil here is mostly sand. So it's a
okay.
bit of that. Sometimes like right now, like I don't want to put anything outside right now because we're not really in rainy season.
Yeah.
So then I have to go out there and I have to remember, like I've got sunflowers out here right now that I have like a daily reminder to go water them because it's like, oh, if you don't water them, it's like one more thing I have to like feed or care for, just like you guys are
Just
just supposed to
yep.
be outside doing your thing.
Yep.
So yeah, so we're doing the hydroponic stuff right now, and then hopefully once they're big enough, I'll get them outside, and like summer will do its thing.
Yes.
Last year I had like probably the best tomato season I've ever had here. I was so excited. I was like propagating them, which I did not realize I could even do with tomato plants. So that was
Mm-hmm.
like a very exciting thing for me to do. And I had plants from like probably last March, I think. Still up until this freeze that I was like, I was excited to
Wow.
see if I got like a second season out of them.
Yeah.
And then the freeze got them. And there's just
Uh,
nothing for me to do to try and save them, unfortunately. So
a
it's,
tip I heard from a horticulturalist is if you go out and you shake your tomato plants
yep.
every day,
Hmm.
you'll get double the
Yeah.
actual
Yeah.
like
It's something with
produce.
I think cucumbers are similar, I think.
It's something with
Um,
the, yeah, because like
yeah.
anytime you even touch it
Yep.
releases like that scent.
Yep.
But it's something to do with like that pollen and that stuff. So yeah,
Hmm.
by shaking them, it does it.
And
So
last year I had little
yeah,
baby watermelons. We didn't get them to the size where you could eat them, but just the fact that I grew anything from this watermelon vine was like,
that's
I was in
huge.
shock when I went out there
Yeah.
and it was there. I was like, oh my God, I am doing this. I did nothing. I
Well,
put it in dirt and let it do its
I
own
feel
thing. But
like I feel like we're gonna have in a few episodes, we're gonna have the hydroponic
yeah,
update on
yeah,
whether or not the plants
probably.
are still
Yeah.
living. Because
They're
now our listeners are
they're going to be
invested.
invested in the hydroponic. I will
Yeah.
say some of them. I put a little bit of. This is my first time doing it, so I put a little bit of all the seeds I had in there, in each little place I could
Mm-hmm.
put them. Um, and so far, the tomatoes, the cucumbers, and the peppers and the radishes are the only ones that even did
Okay.
anything. So I'm actually going later today to try and get the little. I don't know what they're called, like those little. They're not cardboard, little brown, like planter, like
Oh yeah. They're
like as
like a
they grow.
sod thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that you can kind of put them in so that I can kind of transition them into that.
Yeah.
And then maybe start another round because I really want to, I think I might do all strawberry on the next one and see if I can get some of them to go.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
I have friends who say they're easy, and last year I did not, I don't know, it didn't do very well for me. But then
Yeah.
it is also one of those that like, did they get too much water? I don't know. Because like once Florida starts
Strawberries are
rainy
also,
season,
yep.
it does
Yep.
what it does out there. I go out there and I go, oh look, I have a tiny little grape-sized strawberry. Go me. I grew
So I
something.
So I feel like now that we have discovered that Casey has a second life of Farmer Casey, of not
I
only
mean,
starting to realize that there are poisonous
yeah.
plants on her
I'm not
property, but
clearly not
also
very good at it because no one's getting like super fed. I mean, luckily, like all the fruits and vegetables that I grow, like I am the only eater of them usually. Because occasionally Sean will have some of the tomatoes. Because last year
yeah.
we did have an abundance of those.
Oh
But yeah,
man.
and I do like the cherry tomatoes because a whole tomato to me that just seems like a lot of tomato. I don't
Yeah.
know,
Tomatoes they're easy for the most part. Like I feel
yeah,
like they can just they kind of thrive as long as they get
hmm,
enough sun and water.
yeah,
They can kind of live wherever. But
yeah.
yeah, well, I'm looking forward to Farmer Casey updates on your
We'll see how it
produce of
goes.
this season.
It's
And
it's either going to go really well or it's going to be horrible again. And
what a cliffhanger.
right,
This,
right, and I'm knock on wood, not going to be playing in the poisonous plant section anymore.
no, no, we learned our lesson. No, no more of that. And also
Hmm.
wear long gloves and long sleeves and
That's yeah, the
be
UV
buttoned up.
shirts and all that stuff, which I still attest. I
Yeah.
have them, and I was like, oh, I should have been wearing them. But you know what? I'm glad I didn't because I don't have to worry about this stuff on. I mean, I guess it would have been on the shirt and not me as much, but
Yeah.
um, I'd be playing the game of which one has oils on it still, and kind of freaking
Yeah.
out about that. So
Yeah.
the cross
Well,
contamination thing in my head is very strong.
yes, yes. Well, just be safe out there because we don't need any issues anymore. And
Wear your sunscreen.
yes, wear your sunscreen. Make sure you cover up if you're doing any gardening, all of the things.
Garden
And
chat.
yes, exactly. I feel like this is all we needed is Martha
That's pretty
Stewart to come
much.
in and
Yeah.
tell us how to do it better. Like this would have been
Listen, great
perfect.
segue. Martha Stewart and I are from the same hometown in New Jersey. That's not a joke. Martha Stewart, Casey Szymanski, and The Sopranos. And Annie
I,
Oakley. Annie Oakley, if anyone knows Annie
holy
Oakley.
moly.
Yeah.
Boy, what was in the water there?
Fluoride. Uh, go New
We are the
Jersey.
children of the fluoride generation. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. We got them all.
We are at time, but what a wonderful segment on learning that both of us love little animals and can't wait for raccoons
Yeah.
to be domesticated
Little
all the
feral
way.
animals,
Yes.
and dangerous plants.
Yes, and Farmer Casey's produce. I'm so excited. The cliffhanger of the anticipation that I'm going to have waiting to hear about this produce. It's
I
going to
don't
be
think I'm gonna have any farmers markets in my future, if that, just so that like no, I don't want to build up anyone's hopes too much here.
I mean, you never know. It all starts with a
I'm
little
pretty certain. I'm pretty
and
certain.
50 cents.
I'm like 99% sure.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that for today,
Yes.
but thanks for everybody joining us. And
Have a good
until
one,
next
everyone.
time. Yeah,
Bye.
absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh. Now
I'm
I
pretty
can
proud of my
figure out.
fluoride comment.